Right now, somewhere in your house, there is a dog waiting for the lights to go off. Not because they're tired, not because it's bedtime, but because that is the moment they have been waiting for all day. The moment they get to do the one thing their body was never designed to do: sleep next to a predator. Because that is technically what you are to them. And yet every single night, millions of dogs walk past the couch, past the cool tile floor, past every safe, comfortable spot in the house, and choose you tonight. I'm going to show you what that actually means. It's not the cute Instagram caption version, the real one. The one vets and canine behaviorists have been quietly documenting for years. And stay until number 8. Because if your dog used to sleep with you and suddenly stopped, what I'm about to tell you might be the most important thing you hear all week. Let's get into it. Part 1. It was never about the warmth. Here's the story like most people tell themselves. My dog is cold. My bed is warm. End of story. It sounds reasonable. It is also completely wrong. And here's the fastest way to prove it to yourself. Dogs are elite-level heat seekers. Give a dog free rein of a house for one afternoon and watch where they end up. The patch of sun crawling across the hardwood. The register where the heat vent blows. The exact cushion you just got up from, still holding your body heat. Dogs find warmth without effort. If warmth was the whole equation, your bed wouldn't even crack the top 5 options. So, why does a dog with a dozen warmer, easier, softer alternatives climb into bed with you instead? Because sleep is the single most dangerous state an animal can be in. It's wired into every mammal on Earth. When you're asleep, you can't see the threat. You can't run from the threat. You can't fight the threat. For a dog's ancestors, choosing where to sleep was a life or death decision made every single night. And that instinct didn't disappear just because your dog now has a memory foam bed and a food bowl that refills itself. So when your dog, who has every safe corner of the house available to them, chooses the one spot right next to you, that's not convenience. That's a decision made deliberately, night after night, by an animal whose entire biology tells them that sleep is vulnerability. Canine attachment researchers have found that dogs consistently gravitate toward the person they feel safest with when it's time to power down for the night. Translation: when your dog sleeps beside you, they are telling you in the only language they have, you are the safest place I know. Sit with that for a second. Out of everything in their world, you're the answer. Part 2. Your heartbeats are having a conversation. Here's where it gets interesting, because this isn't just emotional. It's measurable. When dogs are in close physical contact with someone they're bonded to, their cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Significantly, their nervous system downshifts. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. The exact same thing happens to you. Contact with a dog you're bonded to lowers your cortisol too. Your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure eases down. 2 nervous systems quietly regulating each other every single night without either of you doing anything on purpose. Over time, something even stranger happens. Your breathing patterns start to sync up. Your dog's body memorizes the rhythm of yours, the rise and fall of your chest, the pace of your exhale when you're actually relaxed, versus when you're not. And this is the part that should genuinely unsettle you a little. When something is off with you, when you're anxious, sick, grieving, overwhelmed, your dog can feel it before you've even admitted it to yourself. That's not a pet looking for a warm spot. That is 2 nervous systems operating as one unit. A bond running at a level most owners never stop to notice. If this is already changing how you look at your dog right now, that's exactly why this channel exists. Hit subscribe, because every video here is built on what the research actually shows, not what we assume about our dogs. Part 3. They gave themselves a job watch where your dog positions themselves tonight. Near your feet, pressed against your back, guarding the door. None of that is random. It's a decision your dog is making every night, without you asking them to. Dogs descended from animals that lived in tightly bonded groups. And in those groups, rest was never fully unguarded. Someone was always positioned towards the entry point. Someone was always covering the group's blind spot. That wiring didn't get deleted when dogs moved indoors. It just changed its address. A dog sleeping near the door has appointed themselves the lookout. A dog pressed against your back is covering the angle you can't see. A dog curled at your feet has stationed themselves where they can react fastest. Your dog knows, on some level, that this is a house and not the wild. But instinct doesn't negotiate with logic. Something ancient in them still says, "This is my group, and I keep my group safe while they're vulnerable." Would your dog actually intervene if something happened in the night? Maybe. Maybe not. But in their mind, the post has been assigned, and every night, without being asked twice, they show up for the shift. Part 4. Every sleep position is a sentence. This is the part that will change how you watch your dog sleep for the rest of their life. Because every single position they choose is communicating something specific. The curl, nose tucked to the tail, body wound into a tight ball. This protects the abdomen, the single most vulnerable part of any animal's body. A dog who curls up next to you is close, but still guarded. The trust is real. It's just not fully open yet. Think of it as trust in progress. The sprawl, legs out, belly exposed, body completely loose and unguarded. This is as vulnerable as a dog can physically make themselves. Every instinct a dog owns says, protect the belly at all costs. And a dog who sprawls next to you has switched every one of those alarms off. That's not just comfort. That is the deepest form of trust an animal can offer another living thing. Back turn to you. A lot of owners take this personally. Like their dog is choosing distance. It's the opposite. In social animal behavior, turning your back on someone is one of the strongest trust signals there is. It means, I don't need to watch you. I already know you won't hurt me. Your dog turning away from you at night isn't rejection. It's one of the highest compliments they can pay you. And most people never realize they're receiving it. The press in. When your dog wedges themselves as close to you as physically possible, sometimes in positions that honestly look uncomfortable, that's the clearest signal of all. Zero distance, not neediness. Devotion expressed the only way they know how. Next time your dog settles in beside you, you won't just see a sleeping dog. You'll be reading a message. Part 5. They rewrote their own biological clock. Dogs, by nature, are wired to be most alert at dawn and dusk. That's when their ancestors hunted, and that rhythm is baked into thousands of years of evolution. There is zero biological reason for a dog's internal clock to bend toward a human's 9-to-5 schedule. And yet, it does. Bonded dogs gradually reshape their entire activity pattern around yours. They sleep when you sleep. They stir the moment you stir. Some dogs anticipate the alarm before it even goes off, waking seconds ahead of it with an accuracy that catches even experienced owners off guard. This isn't a trick you taught them. It's not obedience training. It's attention paid consistently for months and years until your rhythm quietly became their rhythm. An internal clock forged over thousands of years of evolution, bending itself around one person, not out of obligation, because they want to be wherever you are, whenever you're there. Part 6. They know you're stressed before you do ever had a brutal day, said absolutely nothing to anyone, walked through the door. And your dog is already glued to your side before you've even sat down? That's not just affection. That's your dog reading signals you didn't know you were broadcasting. A dog's nose is somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than yours. And research shows dogs can detect shifts in human cortisol through scent alone. Add to that your posture, your breathing, the micro-expressions crossing your face without your permission. Your dog is processing all of it in real time, simultaneously, like a language you didn't know you were speaking. Here's where the sleeping connection becomes critical. Night after night beside you, your dog is building a detailed internal map of your baseline. Your resting heart rate, your normal breathing rhythm, what your body feels like when you're genuinely at peace. So the moment something shifts, even slightly, they catch it instantly. This is why dogs get noticeably clingier when their owner is sick, grieving, or going through something hard. They're not guessing. They're responding to real physical changes in someone they've been quietly studying with total devotion every single night. Part 7. What it means when they stop. This is the part I told you to stay for. A dog who has slept beside you for months or years does not just stop for no reason. And that reason is almost always something worth paying attention to. The most urgent possibility first. If your dog, especially an older dog, suddenly starts seeking solitude at night, consider their physical health before anything else. Dogs instinctively withdraw when they're in pain or unwell. It's an ancient survival mechanism. Hide the weakness, as don't let it show. A dog quietly pulling away from your bed may be telling you something their body can't say out loud. That's worth a call to your vet. Not a guess. Beyond health, look at what's changed around them. A new person in the home, a new pet, a shift in routine that feels minor to you, but massive to them. Dogs are far more sensitive to territorial and social changes than most owners give them credit for. And those changes can quietly show up in behavior you don't immediately connect back to the cause. And sometimes it's emotional. If something startled your dog in that room, if there was conflict or tension there, they may create distance specifically to protect themselves from it happening again. Here's the simple version. Your dog chose to sleep beside you because you were the safest place they knew in the entire world. If that changes, they are not being distant. They're not being difficult. They are telling you something in the only way they have. So watch, listen, and if they need help finding their way back to feeling safe, do that work with them. Because that nightly ritual was never something small to your dog. Every curl, every sprawl, every time they turned their back to you or wedged themselves in as close as they could get. None of it was random. Every single one of those moments was a choice made by an animal whose ancestors learned over thousands of years that where you sleep is where you're safe. And out of every option in the world, they picked you. If this changed the way you'll look at your dog tonight, let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want more science-backed dog psychology like this, subscribe, because we're just getting started.